How many guys here are familiar with CRISPR, Cas9? Who's familiar with CRISPR?
I am. It's gene-altering technology,
Gene-altering
right?
technology,
Yeah,
yes.
it's a little creepy.
So, Vinny, are you following this story closely?
No, Brandon hooked me up
Okay,
with the
so check
story.
this out. Imagine if in 2012 this lady from UC Berkeley comes up with this concept called Cas9. Okay, CRISPR-Cas9. 2013, CRISPR gets started, this company. 2016, they go public. Their stock goes all the way up to nearly $200. Today, it's like a $4.5 billion company. When was the date that they just got there? On December 8th, FDA approved the first CRISPR treatment, sickle cell disease. What this gene editing does, you can literally, imagine going to the doctor, you and your wife, and you say, Doc asks you a question, Vinny, how tall would you guys like your son to be? 6'4". Okay,
Yeah.
great, boom. What color eyes would you want your son to have? Blue.
Yeah.
Okay, great. What color hair would you want your son to have? Blonde. Great. You literally order what you want your kid to have, and they put those genes by editing it for you to have exactly the baby you want to have. Now, you may say, Pat, there's no way that's possible. How long ago was it where people started deciding, how many people would say, you know what, I don't want to have 3 different pregnancies. Doc, can we do 1 pregnancy, 3 kids? If you had money, you would go in and say, what? Let's have triplets. How long has that been going on, Tom?
20 years with the in vitro fertilization.
But watch this,
and
guys.
then they can plant multiple.
20 years is not a long time. You're manipulating having more kids. So these guys sat there and said, if we can manipulate that, what if we can manipulate the exact type of a kid you can have? Now, here's the thing. They tested on a couple hundred people. They tested lymphoma. So this gene editing can actually do some good, which is cancer, cure AIDS, cure a lot of different things. But when you think about gene editing, Charlie, what's the first thing you think about with this invention of CRISPR-Cas9?
I mean, I think of eugenics first and foremost. And I mean, first of all, I don't trust the technology. And then who's going to be in charge of it? Look, the only possible hope is that potentially there are some people that are born with some really, really unfortunate stuff, okay? Really unfortunate stuff. That if we could find some way to limit that or eliminate it, praise God. What I mean, someone who's born with MLS, right? Lou Gehrig's disease, right? That if there's a way to get rid of it. But look, this is going in a direction that I think is very dangerous, almost end time stuff for those of us that follow the Bible, where this is not about correcting, this is about designing. This is about taking a role of God and trying to design the human being you want. I'm sorry, I'm not on board for it, right? Absent an intervention that could save somebody's life from a life-threatening illness. For example, if there are 2 parents that both carry a recessive gene and they know for certain that a child has a 1 in 4 chance of having a debilitating, life-threatening disease. Okay, I think there could be a moral argument for that. But saying that I want to customize my child like I'm going to, build a teddy bear workshop, I think that's really sick.
Tom,
I really do.
Tom.
Or a nefarious country just deciding they want to build.
A super race.
Superhuman.
Well,
That's what Brandon was
worse
talking
than
about.
that.
Rob,
They
can you
just
give
wanna
him that
build-
link about China that they're building Captain Americas in China as of 2020 when we found out?
That's the scary part.
Pull up
Yeah, they
that
don't
story,
want women.
please.
They just want. I need 5. Okay, in 18 years from now, I need to have 5,000 super soldiers, just males. Order them up.
By the way, this is it. China has done human testing to create biologically
this is Clone Wars, Star Wars
enhanced
stuff.
super soldiers, says top official. U.S. intelligence agency did immediately respond to requests for comment about whether China seeks super soldiers for like those in such films as Captain America. They now have gene editing to build Captain America type soldiers in China. Adam, for you, thoughts on this here?
Well, never underestimate people's ability to just have their own self-interests basically endorsed. So people are going to do what the hell ever they want to do. Couple things. If our enemy is doing it and making a super race of humans, well, we're going to kind of have to meet them at their own game here, or we're going to get blown out of the water. I totally agree with Charlie where, like, every year I go to the Special Olympics. My father had cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
It was a family thing. We would go there. Mentally, he was 100%. He was good. He was sharp. He did math like PBD. Physically, it almost looked like he had a stroke. But I would go to the Special Olympics every year, and it was the most rewarding, empathetic, like, reality check where, like, I'm a 15-year-old kid with pimples. They're like, yeah, you don't have it that fucking bad, buddy. These people have it bad. If you can change those people's lives, people with cerebral palsy, people with major issues, people with all sorts of just
autoimmune issues,
everything. If you can change that, you're changing people's lives.
I would
Amazing.
I would be honest. I'm be honest, Patrick. I'm going to be very skeptical about both the ethics and the execution of this technology. But if it can, help people from life-threatening diseases.
You know what it is when you think about gene editing? There's a handful of movies you think about. You got Elysium, you got X-Men, you got Fly, you got Jurassic Park. That's all gene editing.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.